So what's your plans for the day? What are you going to be doing now?
Today I'll be working with stains and very little glaze, but a little bit of glaze up top. I'll be working with red iron, which is a stain, and black iron, which is another stain. And I don't know, if we have time, we'll be working on a piece. We might not have time because I think we should probably leave the studio by 4 to get to the gallery by 6.
Okay.
I don't know about traffic.
Okay. That's a good idea because traffic is from this side of town tends to get a little crazy, yeah.
Okay. So, gotta put my gloves on so that I don't get stained. So basically, we'll just be staining these, and you'll see how the process is done. And
you can wait line behind the guys. Yeah, real careful. Do not touch. Wait line behind the guys.
the engineer. I'm gonna be doing some staining as soon as Scott gets back. Well, I'll start a little bit early, but because I gotta put a piece on. So basically, I'll just be staining this.
Okay, I'll give this to you.
With black iron oxide, and once we're done with it, I'll go ahead and rub it off with a damp paper towel, and basically it will stain this piece. So that's what's going to happen with this piece.
So your intent is to stain the outer part of the texture and leave the inner part of the texture unstained? Or are you going to actually
I don't know. We'll see how it turns out.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole beauty of it. I don't know what will happen. Some of the stain doesn't get into the grooves very well, but the intent is just to stain the piece with black and red iron, and then once I wipe it down, you'll see what it looks like when I wipe it off. It'll just stain it. It looks really cool when it's finished. I always feel creative, so that never really goes away. But I don't know. The glazing and staining part is the hardest part of the process of making pottery because it's unknown. You don't know really what's happening. You don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to turn out. So, but there's beauty in the mystery. So that's exciting. I just have such a good time. And I try not to. Some people get. I just kind of let the piece do what it's gonna do. Yeah, I always feel creative, and there's something real organic about these stains, and really rustic and earthy. Even more so than the glazes. Definitely. Like when this glaze gets on, when it's finished, and when it's actually fired with this glaze on it, it looks like it's been. Do you know how it looks when things look burned? They look really burned up and look like they've had a hard life. Well, that's what these look like, but there's something beautiful and organic about their burnt, scorched look.
Had a hard life of experience and meaning? A hard life that tells a story?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Basically using that for the piece to tell its own story?
Yeah.
To whatever person happens to perceive it?
Right.
And as I think of your art of tomorrow as an element of sort of looking forward to the journey of where going to take people. In this case, where is this piece of art going to take someone tomorrow and their thoughts and feelings?
Yeah. And I always wonder about those that buy the work, that buy my work. What made them buy the work? Did the work speak to them, or did it not, or did they just visually like it, or how did the visual representation of what it was transcend into their lives? That's fascinating to me.
Merge into their life somehow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so,
yeah, you can move that now,
so yeah, I don't know. I think it's exciting. I mean, not knowing, just, I mean, it never turns out the way you think it's going to turn out, which is sort of like, yeah, whatever. You can't really get attached to your piece because, like, you're thinking, oh, it may be blacker than, you know, really, really black, and then it comes out and it's totally not that way at all. You know, any of these artists in here would be like, hey, it's all about experimentation. It's just allowing yourself to experiment with different things and not get too attached. Exactly. Yeah.